We want to spend a little more time now talking about the buzz around women's hockey in our region. Jayna Hefford is Executive VP of Hockey Operations with the PWHL, multi-Olympic medalist, and the Hall of Famer joins us from Toronto. Nice to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Another sellout in Halifax last night. No doubt you heard the chants of "We want a team, we want a team" from the fans. Let me ask you, would you like to see a team in this city?
Well, you know, the response that we've gotten has been incredible in Halifax. And of course, we had a game in December previous to the holidays, and then again yesterday. And Halifax has certainly showed up. 2 sold-out events.
Yeah.
The players certainly felt welcome from the time they landed at the airport. The energy, the buzz around the city was incredible. And I had a chance to be at the game in December, and you can certainly sense how passionate the hockey fans are in Halifax, how much they love the PWHL. And as we continue to evaluate expansion and what the league looks like in the future, Halifax has positioned themselves really well in terms of the support they've provided us.
Well, folks there will be happy to hear that, and you certainly have a lot of interest from a lot of cities that would like to get into that league. Are these games tryouts of sorts for cities that might be interested?
Yeah, we've said many times that every chance we have to play in one of our markets or in an outside of one of our team markets, it's a chance to learn. We learn about the city, the community, the interest in hockey, the economic opportunities, you know, what a team there could mean to people. And so every time we go, we try to learn something, and we've learned a lot from Halifax this year. If you look at last season, 2 of our markets from the takeover tour ended up getting expansion teams. So, you know, there's a lot to consider, certainly, in terms of making sure we select markets that we believe will be successful for the league. But as I said, Halifax has been a wonderful addition this year.
What would be some of the more, I don't know, boring elements that the league needs to see on a checklist before they invest in a city?
Well, the most obvious is infrastructure. So, you know, venues, practice, training facilities, game facilities. Of course, you know, we want passionate hockey fans, strong grassroots participation, both girls and boys. You know, we look at it's a city where our players are going to need to live, so cost of living. We look at economic opportunities, corporate partnerships. You know, TV, broadcast. So there's just a lot of boxes to check, you know, travel schedules and how that it would incorporate into an existing schedule. And so there are many, many data points. But, you know, as you said, there's been so much interest in this league, and that's been exciting. And I could say our players really certainly felt the love when they were in Halifax.
Well, that's certainly nice. Look, Halifax might be an unconventional choice for a team as opposed to say, I don't know, like a Denver or Calgary or Detroit, but it would be the biggest game in that town. Does that carry any weight?
Yeah, you know, that's what we felt, right, when we have visited there twice. I will say, you know, we're not a league that does everything in a conventional way. So we're not afraid to do things a bit differently than other leagues. But at the same time, you know, we have a responsibility to do our due diligence and make sure we check as many boxes as we can in terms of ensuring that market will be successful.
What would be the process and, say, timeline now for a city to make a bid?
Well, many of those bids are already submitted. It's sort of ongoing. And as you mentioned, as part of the takeover tour, every time we play a game, we learn a little bit more. So we're a little bit past halfway in our takeover tour this year, I believe. And so we have a lot of, you know, big, important decisions to make in the next couple months, certainly. And it's a fun process, but, you know, it could be a challenging one. And so, but at the end of the day, it's incredibly exciting to see the success and the growth of the league.
We know some of the biggest backers for a maritime team are the players and coaches who are from here. Are they lobby you every time they see you?
They sure do. You know, I actually happened to be in Quebec City yesterday, and Corey Chevry was speaking at the press conference and mentioned Halifax. So we have a really strong contingent of folks from Atlantic Canada, and of course they always speak very highly of the region. And so there's a lot of demand for many markets, but certainly you know, Atlantic Canadians are proud people and would love to continue the hockey history there.
They certainly would. Look, I can't let you go without asking you about Team Canada and our hopes for the Winter Olympics. How do you feel about the lineup?
You know, you look at it, it's, you know, all members of the PWHL, so players that I know very well. And You know, you look at some of the big names, the veteran players like the Marie-Philippe Poulins and Laura Stacey and Renata Fast and Sarah Nurse, Natalie Spooner. So they've got all the experience there of people that have won. They know how to win. And then I think there's 7 first-time Olympians on that roster. So, you know, I know it's well coached, great group of athletes. They're going to do everything they can to make Canada proud.
And a good showcase the tournament is for your league as well, no doubt.
Yeah, it's an amazing opportunity for the PWHL and women's hockey in general. We expect to have over 25% of our players competing in the games. We have another additional coaches and other support staff members that'll be a part of the Olympics. And as everyone knows, the best players in the world play in the PWHL. So this is an opportunity to hopefully drive some global eyeballs back to the PWHL when the Olympics are over and get everyone engaged in the chase for the Walter Cup.
Jayna Hefford, PWHL VP, Team Canada legend. We hope to see a lot more of you in the Maritimes in the coming months and years.
Appreciate that. Thanks for having me.
We'll take a time out. We'll be right back with much more.